You know, most of you here at this channel and this ministry are used to looking at many extra biblical books by this time. You're well read, very intelligent individuals. But perchance, I don't want to just run into this assuming. And that's obviously something I've done over the last several years. I just, say the firmament, and I just assume that everybody knows what I'm talking about. And so for any newbies out there, if this is your first time learning about this, awesome. Just so you guys know, there were two things my entire life, starting probably when I was about 14, 15, that I used to pray for. There were two things specifically. One was, I would say, what is the firmament? I would read that in the Bible and go like, what's that? What, the second day you create the firmament? What is that? Like, nobody could explain that to me. And the second one was when Paul talks about the great delusion, the grand deception to come that is sent to us by Yah. I always wanted to know, what is that? Because I don't want to be deceived. Now, I can tell you, and I hope I don't sound, it doesn't sound cocky or anything like that, but Yah has answered both of those prayers. And he first showed me what the firmament was, and then he showed me what this great delusion is, this grand delusion, and it is Christianity believing that the Torah was done away with. It is eternal. It is the law of heaven. The Torah abides. It cannot be done away with. And we have been deceived into being disobedient to it, which is not the topic of tonight. We were talking about the firmament. It's like this illustration that you're looking at right here. This is what did it for me. This cemented the deal. It was the beginning of the flat Earth reawakening, and it was in 2015 that I first woke up. I'll give you guys my testimony really quickly. My wife gave birth to my twin sons in July of 2014. And, the first few weeks probably that we had twins, it was, I remember it was a weird sensation where somehow we always kind of figured out it was Sunday. We were Sunday attenders back then. We didn't keep the Sabbath, but it would be like this weird sensation of like, it's light out right now, and then it's dark out right now. And it's just the days blended together. You just look out the window and try to figure out if it's light or dark. As it was just, taking care of these two babies at once. And so it was Palm Sunday, April 2015. And we are dedicating our children in front of our church. There's a lineup of people there. My friends were there with me, including one of the pastors of the church dedicating his child. And I'm holding my son, Eric, up there. And I'm looking out, and the pastor's talking. I have no clue what he's saying. Like, it's just like, I can't hear anything he's saying. And even when he's praying, because as I look out, I hear the voice of Elohim. I don't know if this was the voice of Yahweh or our Father in heaven. It was a masculine voice, and the voice said, "Wake up." That was it. Boom, wake up. Just the words, "wake up." And it was so loud and so audible that I felt like he basically took my head and just smacked me against a brick wall. It was that strong. And I was looking around just like a deer in front of headlights. Like, did anybody else hear that? Because it was so, like, when you hear, like, in the Old Testament, like Noah build an ark, like that, like it was like that audible. And so I'm just standing up there dedicating my sons, going, "Yes, Lord." I called him Lord back then. "Yes. What do you want?" And it was literally flipping on a light switch from dark to light. It was an overnight change where I literally woke up. I went from a hibernating, sleeping animal who'd been in the church my entire life, just doing churchianity, doing Pollyanity, doing ministry, to overnight realizing, like, OMG, Israel is fake, Rome runs the world, like this kind of stuff, the Fed and all that, FEMA camps. And so I'm just searching online. I am just online nonstop trying to figure out, what do you want to show me? And I'm learning and learning and learning and learning and learning. And then catching up to this right here, I come across this 19th century sketch. That's all it was. And it was just like, what? I mean, I just like my mouth dropped. And I just got it. It all came together. I saw in this right here an entire lifetime of reading the Bible and not getting New Jerusalem and not getting all this stuff. What is the waters above and the great deep and the foundations of heaven and earth? Where's heaven? Is it like spiritually here with us, or is it in a different place? And all of a sudden, like I saw the Tower of Babel right there, and I saw Jerusalem coming down, and I saw Messiah ascending up in front of his disciples. It all came together. And right there, you can see the firmament. You see the windows of heaven. You see the openings, the waters above. And I prayed, Father, is this true? And I just heard, yes, this is true. I got down on my hands and knees. And this right here, this illustration was a life changer for me, because the whole Bible it looks just, again, it's just your simple pen and ink sketch. It's so simple, and yet the whole Bible just crackling alive with animation. Now there's a couple more here to look at. Oh, I was looking, this comes from a creationist site. And I was curious, like, we're on day 2 of creation and nobody knows what to do with the firmament. That's like the funny thing, because these creationist ministries, they know what the Hebrews believe. They know what the rakia is. All right. But they don't really know what to do with it, because they can't admit to it. They can't agree to it, because, they believe in the moon landing and NASA and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting. So you see here on the first day. So before I dive into this, let me go back to this real quick. All right. I'll go to this one here. So let's understand what's happening here in the creation week. The Copernican revolution is thrown out the window. That does not exist in Genesis chapter 1. And even geocentrism, kind of, maybe you can make it work. Maybe you can make a globe Earth work in there. But understand this, okay? When Al Hayam, when he flips on the light switch on day 1, let there be light, there's water everywhere. Guys, it's just water. The entire cosmos. There's no space. There's no Big Bang. There's no stars. There's no vacuum of space or anything. It's just water. Water everywhere. It doesn't even say the water was created. The water is just there. And so on the second day, when he spends all day beating out and hammering together this solid rakia, this firmament, I'm going to be showing you that I think it's the best translation to call it firmament. I know it's in the King James, but I think it's the best translation that anyone can really come up with in an English word. He actually, I once gave this whole illustration to this kid in a jacuzzi, because he found out I was a flat earthist and he was fascinated. He wanted to know, because he was a Bible believer, and he wanted to know how it worked. And he's like, Genesis 1 disproves the flat earth. It shows that the Copernican revolution is true. So I'm telling him this about how it's just water. And he's just like, his eyes are like opening up and stuff. And I give this, we're in a jacuzzi, and I give this illustration. I say, okay, imagine this entire jacuzzi is just the cosmos. It's day 1. You flipped on the light switch. Here's all this water. And now you're going to take the dry land doesn't start to appear until like the 3rd day. All right. So you take this firmament and you push it down, and it pushes up, and it like creates like an air pocket in there, and the water comes above. Right. So now you're pushing it down, and what happens? The dry land, it of course drains out, and the dry land appears. Right. So that's what we're looking at right here. Now, I'm finding these illustrations kind of funny, because like they don't, like, the only thing they show for day 2, because they already have day 1, they have the water's there. So now day 2, they show water again. It's like, whoop-de-doo. You just showed water, like a big glob of a ball of water. And somehow, I don't know how that's, I guess gravity was invented on the first day too, because it doesn't say that, but maybe the lights is gravity. I don't know. It's kind of funny. They show the separation of the light from the darkness, like it's a stand-in for the sun. He didn't get around to creating the sun yet, but he mimicked the sun with this light that's like this perfect beam, whatever. Right. So you got a big old ball of water there. The second day, they don't show anything, because the firmament, the rakia, guys, it's not the clouds. So what got created on the second day? Nothing gets created on the second day, according to this very adorable, God bless them, children's illustrative chart. And you can see on day 4 there, they show the solar system, the galaxies in space. When people say that the rakia is space, no, it's not, because according to everything they have, Space wasn't even invented with the sun and the stars and the moon until day 4. So there's no space. All right. So day 2, nothing happened, right? Nothing happened on day 2. We already have the ball of water. We already have the light. I guess you throw in some clouds. I guess that's it. He invented clouds on the second day. Is that what happened? You see the same thing here. This one's actually kind of funny. It's the same thing. They have the ball of water. There's no space, nothing like that. There's like some sort of light source that's kind of adorable, kind of lighting half of the ball of water. Somehow it's not sea level, of course. It's sea curve, right? It just curves around. The water is not finding its level on day 1. On day 2, I think it's funny because they don't know what to do with it. So they're like, okay, well, let's just take that ball of water and put a big blue line there. He put a big blue line on the second day, and then nothing else happened. So there's that.